This film I wanted to check out in the theater. I saw the trailer for it a couple times, and release day came and it never came to theaters, and I kept looking for it and it never came out. It didn't do well at the box office. Now it's on digital and I finally got a chance to check it out. Accidental Texan is about Erwin, who blows his first acting job and finds himself stranded in Texas, where he's taken under the wing of a nearly bankrupt oil driller, Merle, and his cohort, Faye. The three set off on a wild adventure to outwit the bank and a corrupt oil company to hit pay dirt before Merle's dreams are foreclosed. The film stars Rudy Pankow, Thomas Haden Church, and Carrie-Anne Moss, and was directed by Lambert Bristol, and I've never seen any of his previous works before. The film starts off with our character named Erwin. He is an actor, and he's on set. He just landed a big role. Now, everybody tells him on set, look, you got to keep your cell phone off during the scenes. It'll actually trigger a bunch of pyrotechnics, and he doesn't listen. The phone rings, and everything explodes, and it sets the film actually back, and they fire him. So he's driving home. He's really upset. His car ends up breaking down in Texas. He goes to this diner in which these hillbillies try to swindle him for all this money to fix his car and tow it back. And then he meets a guy named Merle, played by Thomas Haden Church, saying, hey, I'll help you out, but you got to do something for me. We start to learn about Merle. We learn that he lost his son, and we learn that his oil company is going under. He doesn't have the money to really pay his employees anymore, and he really needs to strike gold. So he needs to actually use Erwin to really help him actually accomplish this. He has this other corrupt company that are coming after him, and they want to shut him down, and they only give him 30 days to come up with the money to pay the bank back. And if not, they're going to shut his company down. So he uses Erwin throughout this film to really just try to find the hot spots. There's a lot of things that you learn in here, and I think this film, it's kind of a tough sell because a lot of people, they don't know a lot about oil drilling, myself included. I know absolutely zero about it. So throughout this film, we learn a little bit about what they have to actually do to strike gold. There's all these different maps, there's all these different things that they have to gather, and they need to actually get permission to actually drill, and certain little scenarios throughout this film. It does kind of play out like a Disney movie. I definitely felt like this is one of those movies that you turn on like a Saturday and it's on at like 10 a.m. in the morning. The acting here is also fine. Nobody is giving a bad performance. They are given a decent script here. I mean, the chemistry here between the three of them is pretty good. It's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's like blown away chemistry or anything like that. But you do see Merle here. He actually takes advantage of the fact that Erwin is an actor. And he says to him when this big company comes up to the oil drilling site that they're drilling at, he's like, you got to pretend to be this expert. You got to be the guy that really knows oil and is the expert. And he's like, I can't do this. And he's like, yeah, you can. You're an actor. You can actually act your way through it. The cinematography is done pretty well. I definitely felt like I was in Texas, and I got that aesthetic with the desert, the hot, sweaty portion of the desert, kind of in the middle of nowhere, cowboy hats, and you can actually see the oil drillers. They're putting their all and their blood and sweat into drilling this oil. And I definitely felt like the aesthetic of Texas here was actually nailed. It was filmed in Bartlett, Texas, and Austin, Texas. Now, this film, it is a feel-good film. It's a dramedy film. And I will say, like I said previously, it is feeling like a Disney Channel original movie, though it does have some cheesy parts and cheesy dialogue to go with it. Now, there are two scenes in particular that I thought were pretty cheesy. Now, there is one part where you have Erwin where he goes to this office and he finds out that this woman is there, and he's like, yeah, I need to get these papers, blah, 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 blah. He talks to her for a little bit. She's very seduced by him. She's very attracted to him. And some of that dialogue exchange, it definitely comes off as very cringe. Then later in the film, you have this company that's trying to take over. And they need to actually get a distraction to get them out of this office. So they say on the intercom that it's someone's birthday. And I definitely felt like a little Disney kind of moment in that scene there. Then there's a third scene in here where they are drilling oil. They get permission to drill oil on this site. And you have these people just randomly in a helicopter start to shoot at them. And I was like, wow, this just feels really out of place, really out of left field, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense that that would actually happen, because you never really got the sense of these corrupt people really going that route or really resorting to violence. I never really felt that vibe. It just felt like these people were very corrupt and they were just trying everything they can to make sure that he was not successful. It is based on a 1999 novel called Chocolate Lizards, and I'm glad that they actually changed the title here, because I just really feel like the title is a little bit more fitting than Chocolate Lizards. I think a lot of people, if they saw this film and they saw that the title was Chocolate Lizards, I think they would think that title is a little bit strange to what the narrative actually is. And when it comes down to it, this is an okay watch. I would give a score of it a 2.5 out of 5. It was fine to watch one time. I doubt I will watch it again. You know, I wasn't mad that I watched this film. I'm glad that I got to check it out on digital. I can understand why it didn't have a wide theater release, because this doesn't have mass appeal. I don't think a lot of people would really care about the subject of oil drilling, and I think some people in certain sections of this film could feel a little bit bored. But I also think too, if you watch a lot of Disney Channel original movies growing up, like I did, then you can really understand that this film and where it's actually coming from, and you can really accept the dialogue for what it is. Again, it's not amazing acting, no one's getting an Oscar performance, but it's fine for what it is. And then, of course, yeah, you'll have some cringy moments in this film, which is to be expected, because that always happens in Disney Channel original movies. So, with that said, this film is an okay one-time watch. It's not something that I'm going to be revisiting. Let me know down in the comments, what did you guys think of Accidental Texan if you have checked it out? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was kind of meh? And if you haven't checked it out, is it something that you're interested in? Are you going to check it out now that it's on digital? But if not, let me know as well. Leave any and all comments down below. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys next time.